What are dark secrets about the pun industry that people should know? The dressing room trash cans are full of empty disposable enemas and it smells like farts and sadness in there. It smells like farts and sadness at my job too. A lot of the 18-year-olds in the pun industry probably were in it when they were younger too. From now, I will stick to 30-yo secretary category. I know a girl who did some pun and she started doing it when she was only a teenager, except all her pun videos were labeled 18 plus EDIT. She started doing pun at 16, and they just lied and said she was 18 plus in her videos, even though she was underage. If you have any 80s VHS tapes of Tracy Lords, you could potentially be in possession of child pornography. She used fake identification and was 16 when she began filming, and may have even been as young as 15. A lot of British tabloid papers had 16-year-old page 3 girls modeling topless. This was legal until 2003. Some newspapers even featured special 16th birthday shoots. These were national papers available in every shop and delivered through letterboxes. They were in cafes and hotel lobbies. The grooming and locking. If you've never heard of locking, it's basically when a group of girls doing pun are living together, typically, and they are pressured to spend their money by producers who claim to be their friends. The goal here is to diminish any sort of saving money thought process, and they make it out like the money will never stop coming. This keeps them broke and making doing more shoots. Edit. Just wanted to say thanks for the upvotes. Hopefully this will be top comment so more awareness gets out. Grooming doesn't stop because they made a few videos. That was in the after pun documentaries on Netflix, weren't they? I think the doc was called Hot Girls Wanted, if I remember correctly. A lot of actors takes a lot of drugas, like a lot. Plus basically every male actor gets erectile dysfunction after being in the business for so long as they are pumped up on Viagra. Oh, I also used to drive some exotic dancers 2 or 3 cities to do regular doctor appointments. They never felt safe going local because they always get recognized and people get creepy. Not sure if that counts as pun industry, but I'd imagine the same rules apply. I'm a stripper. Been one 15 years. There's a name for this, and it's called never shti, where you eat, meaning never work in the same city as you live. It can be as dangerous as seeing a man from the club sitting outside your house because he was certain that no matter how many times you told him no, has convinced you are secretly in love with him. It can be as simple as someone recognizing you in the grocery store and has respect and doesn't say anything but has still there. Once you've made the decision to sell yourself, men think all that's left is haggling over the price. Well, it's not. Just because I'm comfortable up on stage naked and can hold a conversation while my underwear is on your head doesn't mean I want that environment everywhere I go. Your revved up wife who'll go down on you in the kitchen is not expected to do that same thing while she's shopping for yams and eggs, so why do they think he'll do it? The most scary, when someone thinks they know me more as a person now and get special privileges because they tried to wave at me while I was doing laundry somewhere. I had a young man run up to me in a Home Depot like I was his long lost high school girlfriend so he could introduce me to his beer buddies because 2 weeks earlier I had ridden him around the stage like a donkey at his bachelor party at the club. Dude, I'm not your girlfriend just because I wrote Athena was here on your back with a magic marker as part of the show. All the other strippers you hired to participate did it too. Go away. I'm trying to buy a new pond for my turtles. Link. imga.com/uasogv. JPG. Many of the 18-yo pun stars were recruited when they were 16 or 17. I vacationed in San Diego when I was 17 and was recruited for modeling by a very attractive and seductive young woman at the beach. I went to the office building she told me to go to, a high-rise next to a highway. In reception I walked out, casting couch-type atmosphere and models as the staff. My story ends there. Great. After reading these comments I can no longer watch pun. Thanks boys. Honestly, I'd been wanting to quit myself, and I think this thread is what did it. Child actors from Thailand. Child actors from Thailand. Sex slaves then. Let's call them what they are. James Dean, the famous pun star who made a killing by looking like an authentic, genuine dude, is a rapist according to several costers and his ex-girlfriend Stoya. But the pun industry didn't get a Me Too movement, so he's still in pun and Stoya isn't. And it wasn't even a ducking secret edit. Apparently she's still doing pun, just on her own platform at Zaraspaces. Edit, 2x link. theguardian.com/us news/2015/nov/30/James Dean a sexual assault accusation Stoya pun industry. The whole tons of Viagra thing is absolutely true, and so is the bit about casting directors playing fast and loose with STDs. I have a friend that once turned down a shoot for a gay pun at a campground because none of the actors were required to be tested beforehand. A few of them ended up contracting HIV from that shoot. 1. Amateur/homemade 18y/ovids are likely not 18. 2. The industry gives no shits about protecting minors. If it were legal they'd go as low as they could. See Japan. Color climax. Traci Lords. Traci Lords' case is especially despicable due to all the hate she received. When it came out she was 16 in her vids and 14 in her pinups. As well as the fact that in 1987 they made a pun film about her as sexual exploitation. 3. Pornhub specifically makes it especially difficult to get minors taken down from the site, even if you report multiple times. Several famous minors are actually recommended search terms. 4. Not really the industry, but whenever there's a high profile rape in the news the victim's name becomes a popular search terms on all sites. In the last few months, there have been several shocking cases of sex trafficking and child rape films that were /Zazero hosted on Pornhub. A 15-year-old girl who had been missing for a year was finally found after her mother was tipped off that her daughter was being featured in videos on the site. 58 such videos of her rape and sexual abuse were /Zazero discovered /Zazero on Pornhub. /Zazero her trafficker, who was seen in the videos raping the child, was identified using surveillance footage of him at a 7-Eleven where he was spotted with his victim. He is now facing a felony charge. Also in recent news was the case of 22 women who were deceived and coerced by Michael Pratt, owner of Girls Doppen, into performing sex acts on film that were subsequently uploaded to Pornhub. These women sued Girls Doppen and /Zazero won /Zazero a $12.7 million lawsuit against the company. According to a federal /Zazero indictment, Pratt and his co-conspirators produced film child rape and sexual abuse content and trafficked a minor. Pratt reportedly fled the United States for New Zealand and is currently wanted on a federal warrant. But there are other individuals who should also be wanted by law enforcement. CEO Ferris Hinton and COO David Tozillo of Minjik, the company that owns Pornhub. This is just one story. Victims of Pornhub/Minjik in the media. Rose Kalemba, 14 years old, raped, and videos uploaded to Pornhub for months. 15 years old rape and sex trafficking victim found in 58 Pornhub videos. Pornhub verified 15 years old sex trafficking and rape victim. 14 years old victim from Palo Alto, CA raped and videos uploaded to Pornhub. Internet Watch Foundation confirmed 118 cases of child rape on Pornhub. The Sunday Times investigation found dozens of illegal abuse videos in Minutus. PayPal cuts off service to Pornhub amid evidence of child rape and sexual abuse on site. 22 sex trafficking victims on Pornhub partner channel. Girls Doppen sex trafficking ring a partner channel on Pornhub with 784,000 subscribers. US federal indictment for sex trafficking and child pornography. Nicola Demando of New York sentenced to life in prison after killing attacker who has sexually abused her and uploaded videos of her as sexual assaults to Pornhub. 14 rape victims of Taiwan's Justin Lee had their sexual assaults and rape videos on Pornhub. Edit link b/7f5ktme. It was once legal in some countries to use children. Child pun was legal in Denmark until like 1980. It was still illegal to have sex, rape, with children, so the production of hardcore child pun was illegal, but the product itself was legal to own and sell. Today there is an archive of kiddie pun at the National Library that can be accessed by researchers with special permission. Imagine being the librarian in charge of that. So what do? Oh, I'm a kiddie pun curator. They recruit young women and teens from troubled homes or rebelling against their parents. They lure them in with money and the ability to live free and do what they want. All they have to do is some amateur pun. Once away from friends and family, they are put in a house with other young women in the industry and given a room. They bond and go to shoots or whatever. They get paid a lot and they love it. Some get hooked on drugs. Almost all have bad experiences. The person who owns the house they live in takes a cut of everything. It's all a bunch of teen girls, so it's not a very clean place. The turnover rate is astounding as well. It's a miracle essentially if you last longer than 4 months without a mental breakdown or going home and never returning. Edit. Not all girls/guys/people who go into pun amateur or otherwise come from bad homes. Though 40% of pun actresses report being molested as children. It's not indicative of the industry or the people employed within. Edit 2. I apologize for this edit, but as it seems to have slowed down, I'll make it now. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Never had it before, and that's pretty cool. Also didn't expect this to blow up. Now my top comment is about how the pun industry is predatory. At least it's a gold way to raise awareness. I worked in a level 6 locked treatment center for 11 to 17 year olds. One girl came in off the street after escaping a trafficking/pornography ring. She was 13, but acted well beyond 18. Grown up so fast. She was destructive as hell, and due to the aggression we had to send her to a JTC. 5 months later she shows back up at the treatment center. Beaten, bloody and unrecognizable. At 3 AM in a metro city. She said the money they promised was too good to pass up as she was broke and on her own. It was heart-wrenching to watch her go right back to the situation that had brought her to treatment in the first place. I'm so sad for all those girls with their innocence and childhoods lost forever. Some girls are tricked into filming the video. They're promised to do some modeling, and when they arrive they find out that it's more than just a few pictures. Pun is a big human trafficking industry. Nowhere near as rampant and dangerous as child trafficking, but it's still very active. Came to comment from personal experience. I'm not in the adult entertainment industry, but I booked a boudoir photo shoot a few years back to surprise my boyfriend, and I booked with this amazing photographer. I was raped during the photo shoot. A video recorder was on the entire time. That of course captured everything, and the video went to the black market. The photographer was actually deep into sex trafficking, but these traffic rings stay 100 steps ahead at all times. That the police investigation became cold very fast. Does it bother anyone else how abundant the teen and incest/step family content is on Pornhub? Edit. I'm not into those. One of the reasons I quit watching pun. First thing you see on the page, stepsister blows my fat clock while mom with Jessie sounds real hot. The financial structures of the business are remarkable. The amount of money flowing through the industry is huge beyond comprehension. But in the end it ends up in just a few pockets. Companies behind large tube sites are earning the bulk of the money, taking revenue from advertisements, memberships, and producing studios who pay tube sites so said tube sites feature their films on the homepage. In the meanwhile, those producers suffer heavily from the terabytes of pirated content which is uploaded daily. Tube sites often refuse to take responsibility for illegal content, said pirated content, but also child porn, human trafficking, rape, etc. New stating that they are only a platform and that they cannot be held accountable for what individual users upload. Lately there was quite some uproar about the girls do pun videos. A number of girls appearing in those videos stated that they were drugged and then forced to do things that they would have never agreed on. While this case was in court, some tube sites refused to take those videos offline, while users still uploaded those. Pornhub actively removes any criticism on Reddit using the admins. You'll receive at minimum 3-day suspension, or perhaps more, just for mentioning that they consistently fail to remove child porn or non-consensual rape videos. Just Google Pornhub fail to remove videos. Too many to count. Edit. It's under harassment on the content policy. No healthcare. A big problem is that pun scenes are shot in a way to be visually stimulating, but not actually safe. Think of scenes where an actress is made to go full Nelson. There's nothing pleasurable about this position. but it lets you see the girl's entire body and the guy's dong all in one shot. Lots of scenes these days also having choking. So basically you're going to be forced to do painful and potentially dangerous things because they look good on camera. So what happens when you inevitably get hurt? Well, any injuries are considered your fault. You don't get paid any healthcare, and the studio won't take responsibility for hurting you, even though they forced you to overuse your body. A sad side effect is the amount of guys copying these positions. They don't feel good for the guy or girl, and you'll just hurt your partner. Regular missionary is legitimately one of the most pleasurable positions, yet is avoided for being too boring. Didn't August American Englishes kill herself because people harassed her and called her a homophobe because she refused to do a shot with a gay man who hadn't been tested for STDs? I mean, I feel like that's pretty well known, but still felt like sharing. I remember watching some documentary or something of the sort about pun fans from the UK going off to America to meet their favorite stars or something. A segment of the show was about pun stars meeting fans and shagging them, and the girls were beginning to look really ragged by the third guy or group, or of guys I can't remember. Anyhow, after the fans are done with, the director/producers/production staff who've been sitting there all day filming all of it drop their pants and exercise their owner's rights and start plowing into the girls, who by this time were well and truly spent. I don't know how much of this is true, or if it's sensationalized, but I remember thinking to myself how monstrous the act/idea of it is. There really isn't that much separating what the crew were shown doing from rape if you ask me. Edit, some grammar typos. And thanks to you/house_about_duck for linking the video below. The scene I mentioned is around here link B/THSQC07GY2Q T=1811. Be warned though it is explicit, and most certainly NSFW. Edit 2, Googled, Punodan link, M. Wikipedia, org/wiki/dan_leal, to see if he was still around, and lo and behold, he is. And highly acclaimed too. If it isn't dark, that a real life slave driver is lauded, I don't know what is. Documentary was called Date My Punster. It was about 3 pun addicts who were shown the realities of the pun industry. Link to documentary on YouTube link. youtube.com/watch V=THSQC07GY2Q. Like this video and this good boy will be your mailman forever. We are Redditation, and we redditate every day. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a wonderful day you magnificent people.